afternoon. You're watching Market Fatafat on ET. Now, your doors of all the movers and shakers today in trade. I'm Mubina Kapasi. Let me quickly bring on board our research analysts as well as our technical experts who are going to be joining us on the show. We have Karanya Rao, Siddharth Bhamre, and also on the show, Shubham Agarwal of Quants App Advisory as well as Rajesh Palviya of Axis Securities are joining in. So good afternoon to all of you, and thanks so much, Shubham and Rajesh, for joining in. Well, we've got to flag off this show with the Adani group of stocks and the significant crack witnessed in almost every member of that pack, be it Adani Power, Adani Ports, all of them are cracking. And how? Take a look at the way Adani Power is falling right from the word go. It's a 9% fall which it is registering today, and with this decline it's falling below the 50 and 100 daily moving average. But this fall is not just limited to today, sorry, it's a 12% fall actually, and it's not just limited to today's trading session, but even on Friday's session we did see almost a 5 to 6% fall. So cumulatively it's an 18% crack in the last two trading sessions, falling to the lowest level since October end. Shubham, let's talk about the massive weakness witnessed in an ICICI Bank. What would you make of this fall, and what would be your recommendation?
Hi, good afternoon. ICICI Bank, if you look at the overall momentum, it has been clearly falling with a very sharp sell-off. And if you look at the derivative data, clearly a lot of shorts were built, and even now it is quoting below the highest put congestion area. So I think the fall has been massive, and there is a small temporary support around the area of 338 to 340 where currently it is quoting. So I think if anyone already has a short position, they can look to book some profits. And if at all we do see a pullback up to 355, 360 in coming few days, then there will be again an opportunity to go and take a short trade. So overall the view remains bearish, but I think for any
Okay, so overall it's a weak structure, but do watch out for those levels that Shubham has flagged off. Rajesh, take a look at Oil India. I mean, if you just pull up the intraday chart, there's been a sharp spike witnessed in the last couple of minutes in trade, and now we're in the green for the stock. What would you make of this move?
Yeah, if you look at the structure, stock overall it's in a weak territory, and looking at the near-term structure, stock is trading near to its important and critical support area of 168, 169. So my advice would be, if any pullback comes in the stock, one should exit in any pullback, and I am not seeing that stock will cross above 180 kind of level. So 180 is the level. If it comes, one should exit from the stock.
As we speak, it's just more or less flattened out. Oil India exit during pullback is what Rajesh is recommending. RBL Bank and Karnya, we just had the Q3 numbers. What's the verdict like?
Verdict is good, Mubina. It looks like a good set of numbers. Profits have grown nearly 36.5%. Absolute GNPA has also been flat on a sequential basis. There's been a slight rise, not too much. Net NPAs have also remained flat. QOQ NIMs have come in at 4.12% versus 3.89%. So it's not a bad quarter, but it's not too good either. So keeping with the market sentiment, the street continues, however, to punish the stock. It's down by nearly 2%.
Okay, 1.7% lower for RBL. Not much of a move witnessed over here. Numbers just about okay. Siddharth, let's talk about the massive decline and Vodafone Idea.
Well, yes, and new all-time low for this stock, Mubina, and there's massive pile-up of positions in future segment. We are in expiry week, so some of these positions may not be visible in Bhav copy. Nevertheless, it's rollovers which are taking place. That's what statistics are indicating. Looking at the price where it's at all-time low after breaching that important support of 32, most of the positions which would get rollover would also be short positions. So stock may remain under pressure. Watch out for that level of 32. We are seeing a small intraday bounce which should not sustain.
Alright, Vodafone Idea just about near its all-time low. Shubham, Max Financial is cracking and it's under immense pressure, 7.2% lower. What would be a strategy you'd recommend here?
Very clearly it's in a downtrend, and there was a channel support around the level of 425 which we saw that today it reached that level, and now the selling is accelerating. So it's a sell. Even now any pullback up to 410 should be also used as a selling opportunity gradually. The stop loss should be placed at 415, and I feel that if we hold on this position for about 10 to 12 days, then we might see a target of 350. So the overall structure is quite weak, and I think selling on any pullback or at the current level is also advisable.
Okay, 7.3% lower for Max Financial, sub 400 rupees as we speak. Rajesh, let's talk about Tata Global. What is a strategy you would recommend over here?
See, if you look at the structure of Tata Global, stock is taking support from its multiple support zone of around 200 to 202 is a multiple support zone, and we have seen stock always bounce from these level. Again, the same behavior we have seen in the today's trade. But looking at the overall structure, 215 220 is the key hurdle on the higher side. So one can hold the position with stop loss of 202, and in the pullback 215 220 targets can be seen in the near term.
Okay, just about holding on, Tata Global Beverage 0.5% higher despite the overall weakness in the markets. Okay, Shri Ram Transport, and again, just with the rest of the NBFC space, this stock too is tanking and how in trade. But there is significant weakness witnessed in this one. We just had the numbers that were delivered. The calculated NII has posted a growth of a little over 15% at 2,037 crore rupees. The profits have grown 17.3% at 635 crore rupees. There is, however, an impairment on a financial instrument that has come in at 636 crores. Decreased a tad bit from the previous quarter, but this is an impairment expense that has hit the profits. Nevertheless, the profit has still grown at 635 crore rupees. So Shri Ram Transport, of course, do remember the entire NBFC pack is very weak today in trade. And of course, the stock of the day has got to be Z Entertainment, Karanya.
That's right. In fact, the management is doing everything they can to soothe the investor nerves, to soothe the jitteriness around the counter and the company's functioning at large. Today as well, they once again held a con call earlier on in the day. They said that they have reached a formal written agreement with the lenders, and the company doesn't expect any further invocation of pledged shares. So that is something that they have gone on record, reassured the investors, analysts, media at large. There's no downscaling of any plans on the future of Z Entertainment. The team is completely focused on running the business. So repeated reiteration, reassurance is something that they've put forward. Brokerage community also seems to be fairly upbeat on the company's prospects going forward. The stake sale that they're planning to do is also going to be a big positive development. So most of the brokerages also continue to be quite upbeat on the stock despite what transpired on Friday.
Okay, and a recovery in the stock, 12.8% higher, though of course not to the extent that it lost on Friday's session. Shubham, here's a stock we don't talk about very often, but of late it's been garnering a lot of investor interest. Hence, it would be prudent to get in your strategy here. It's another 13% fall in the stock price. So what would you recommend?
Yeah, I think Newton's law is applied there. The momentum that we saw on the upside is now equally on the downside as well. And generally, whenever we see this kind of a pattern getting formed, from where the rally started is where the stock ends up being. So it's not enough, we cannot take a short trade, but if anyone is holding Linde India, the recommendation would be to exit it, because overall this fall might end around the level of 400 to 410.
Alright, Linde India down a little over 13% today in trade. Not an isolated move though. For the last couple of sessions, weakness witnessed here. Rajesh, Indian Bank, PSUs in general, PSBs rather, have been a little sluggish, but it's a 9% fall in Indian Bank.
Yeah, post result we have seen stock has shown very sharp cut in the prices, and in this process stock now trading below all its important moving averages and showing the downtrend in the near term as well as on the short term chart. So looking at the structure, stock is trading near to its important support area of 210, which is very critical for this fall. If stocks manage to hold this level, then some consolidation we may witness, but the view will remain bearish on the stock, and until unless stock not crosses about 240 level, one can initiate short position for any pullback action comes in the near term.
Alright, 9% gone for Indian Bank. Siddharth, let's talk about the continuous fall in Ultratech Cement then.
Well, yeah, and it's a third consecutive day of fall, Mubina. On an average, the cash market volumes in NSE for Ultratech Cement used to be around 3 lakh, 4 lakh shares. Now, since Thursday, we are seeing a very heightened activity, 6-7 lakh shares, then 15 lakh shares, and today already we are moving towards that 9.5-10 lakh shares of stocks being traded. We are seeing massive shorting taking place in Ultratech Cement. 3300 is its previous swing low, so watch out for that level. It's moving towards those levels. In fact, not just Ultratech, entire cement pack, be it large cap or mid cap, is under pressure since quite some time.
Okay, third day of fall for Ultratech. Shubham, let's talk about Motherson Sumi, and this one too. In general, it's been very weak in the recent past.
Yes, so the overall structure again in Motherson Sumi remains weak, and I feel that 140 is a temporary support because earlier we saw a swing low also getting formed around that level. So it will not be a very good idea to go and take a short trade after this decline. But for people who are already holding a short trade, I think 140 is the level where they can look to book profit, and the trailing stop loss can now be maintained at 147. So overall the structure is weak, but I think 140 will be the level to book profits.
4.5% lower for Motherson Sumi. Rajesh, let's talk about sugar stock Bajaj Hindustan. You're mentioning it's in a downtrend. What is your rationale?
See, if you look at the overall structure, the stock is in downtrend, and any kind of pullback action is to be used as a shorting opportunity, or one can exit in any pullback action, because overall structure is very negative. And looking at the structure, I would advise one can exit if it comes near to 9.5 to 10 kind of 10 rupees prices. So one should avoid the buying in the stock, and any pullback one should exit from the stock.
Okay, so Rajesh is very bearish on Bajaj Hindustan today as well. It's down 6%. Well, unfortunately, we're out of time in this edition of the show. So Shubham and Rajesh, thanks so much for joining in and giving us your technical strategy. Karan and Siddharth, to you as well. But before we say goodbye, here's a reminder for all our viewers. As per the new TRAI order, you, the viewer, has the power to choose and pay only for those channels that you enjoy and love. So to keep watching Market Fatafat on ET now, you have to just call your cable or DTH operator and ask for the times, movies and news.